I would like everybody to give a warm COF welcome to Mr. B. Dave Walters.
I would say I apologize for what's about to happen, but I think you all know I am not sorry. As this nightmare's vision continues to coalesce, it is almost like a nightmare of a Victorian gentleman's study that a blind person had and then tried to somehow draw afterwards. When the arrow goes whistling past my head, I just turn and look and I say, that's less impressive.
Greetings and welcome to Crucible of Fate, episode 19, part 1. I'm your host and killer DM, David Carter. This is going to be an amazing episode for many reasons, everybody. Primarily, though, we have a really strong cast. People that have been through it. They have fought their way through Return of the Fallen and are now back for episode 19. So everybody that's participating in this episode fell in their original COF episode, fought their way through their Return of the Fallen episode, and now they're facing off against one another to see which three are going to be moving on to round 2. We also have a special guest DM for our Hunter and Hunted today. Mr. B. Dave Walters is going to be joining us to run a monster. So that's going to be super fun. Before we jump into the action, there's just a couple of things I want to say, though. If you have been enjoying Crucible of Fate, please consider becoming a patron. There are links in the video description on how to get to my Patreon and the different tiers there. I'm going to plug once again for our Discord community. It is growing all the time, and it's a fantastic place for fans of not only Dungeons & Dragons, but video game, RPGs, video games in general, books, movies, anything sci-fi or fantasy related. We have a really nice community on the go, and we'd like to welcome all of you out there to join it if you haven't already. Okay, I think that's it for announcements. Let's meet our contestants for tonight. Top left, we have Joe.
Hey guys, Joe. Been playing D&D a little bit before the pandemic, which was the perfect time to start. Had plenty of spare time. I live in Philly, big Eagles fan. I got a Philly sports podcast, Philly versus Everybody. Check it out if you're into sports or into just Philly nonsense. Excited to play today.
Sweet, Joe. Glad to have you back and looking forward to seeing Bestiarius back in action. Next, top center, Steve.
Hey everyone, I'm Steve from Attleboro, Massachusetts. I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons, role-playing games for most of my life. Third time back, hopefully it's a charm. And can't wait to go. Thanks.
Great, welcome back, Steve. Next up, we have Wezzy.
Hello everyone, I'm Wezzy. I live in Indianapolis. I'm an English teacher, high school primarily, but I have done a little bit of middle school. I don't know how long I've been playing D&D, but not too long, but not like I didn't start yesterday, so I'm glad to be back.
Good stuff. And heading out to the west coast of Canada, beyond the west coast, welcome back, Albini.
Hi there. I'm Albini. I live on a small island on the west coast of Canada. It's quite early morning here, and I live on a little farm in a tiny house off-grid. I'm a captain on the fire department on this little island, and that's about that. I've been playing D&D for a long time, I guess for 30 years.
Good stuff. Well, we are excited to see Izera back in action. I'd hate to be on the business end of your opening round. That was quite devastating last time. We'll see what happens. Okay, now jumping all the way across the pond over to the UK, we have Stu.
Hi, I'm Stu. As Steve said, hopefully third time lucky. I'm from the UK, and if you are watching and you haven't entered the Crucible and you enjoy watching it, you'll certainly enjoy playing it more, so hopefully get in for the next season. And yep, I like pork pies, cheese and cups of tea.
Excellent. Welcome back, Stu. All right, last but not least, we have Daryl.
Hello, I'm Daryl Dorsey, also in Indianapolis. This is what, my third time back, technically, including Return of the Fall? Yep, okay. You can usually catch me on the Fan Gang podcast as the storyteller slash GM, where we mostly do actual plays where they're either playing as or fighting against a monster. I've been playing D&D since a little before the pandemic, so once we both got in around the same time, and I'm just happy to be in the player seat and not running it, because that is a lot of pressure that I don't have to deal with this morning.
Well, I'm happy to take on that pressure normally, but I'm super enthused to see what B. Dave has in store for you guys. So welcome back to the Crucible proper, my cast for episode 19. I wish you all the best and good luck. Just keep in mind that only 3 can move on to round 2.
It's time. Bring them. Offer them riches, offer them glory. I don't care. Just bring me their souls.
As you wish, Master.
Yes. You think you have what it takes? Every roll can mean life or death. 120 contestants. Who will survive? Who will win? It could be you. This is high stakes D&D.
Consciousness returns to all of you once again as you find a light blue light beginning to illuminate the rocky and ancient wood features of the Fate's Hand Tavern. You become aware of the other contestants within the contestant circle around you. You see now that about every second contestant is an empty gap, as just about half of all of the contestants have now been eliminated. You've all been through this before, and you're now accustomed to what it is to wake up either in purgatory or here within the Fate's Hand Tavern. You hear the steady footfalls of Dregs as he moves to the center of the circle. You can see the light reflecting off of his metal mask as he looks up at all of you and slowly turns while pulling a scroll out from within his cloak. If I call out your names, it's your turn to once again enter into the Crucible. I hope you've all learned some valuable lessons, not only in your first appearance, but in your return of the Fallen. You know the stakes that you're fighting for. The very best you can hope for, should you lose, is an eternity in purgatory, wandering through the wastes. Worse than that is to be sold off to any one of these eyes of truth, spectators and all their perverse interests in you. So keep in mind, for the final time, trust no one and do everything that you can to survive. The contestants for episode 19 will be Bestiarius, Edifang the Destroyer, Garzak the Reforged, Izera, Lomax, Holy Knight of Palion, and Novar Olerin. And as each of your names is called out by Dregs, you feel the magic that is holding you within the contestant circle give way, and it releases you, slowly lowering you down towards the floor. You drop the remaining few inches, landing steadily on your feet, and just starting to look around at your fellow contestants, and with Dregs in the center. You feel your heart rate pick up and the adrenaline begin to spike, as you know that in the next few minutes, you're going to be entering into Mortal Kombat of sorts, with your very life and existence on the material plane at stake. Dregs looks about at the 6 of you and just says, "Very well. I've seen you all fight. You're all capable. I know you know how to take care of yourselves. Good luck to all of you. Follow me." And he turns and begins to step towards the darkness and shadow. But as he does, the contestant circle just kind of drifts upwards and away, that blue light fading, as now the walls of the Fate's Hand Tavern seem to get just a little bit closer with its flickering orange torchlight illuminating you and this very familiar form of architecture, the way that the stones are so naturally stacked and the wood expertly carved, although seeming to be quite old and covered in a fine layer of dust. Out of the shadows, a familiar form appears as Thermgul is now standing in front of you all once again. Welcome back to all of you. I would like to congratulate you on earning your way back into the Crucible of Fate proper. This now means that your chances are still ongoing to take your place as my right hand and commander of my troops. I know that you're all capable of doing the job. We must now go through the motions of seeing it through to the end, this final selection process. Of course, you are aware that only 3 of you will survive. I encourage you to do everything in your power to ensure that you are one of those 3. I'm only starting to see the hints of deception and manipulation, the cunning that some of you have shown to emerge victorious. There's no need for this working together to try to defeat the enemies. This is a fool's errand. You should just fall in line. Win. Yourself, not as a group. You put your faith in others. You are putting yourself at risk. So now let us get the eyes of truth to know each and every one of you a little bit better. A little introduction from each of you. Let us begin with Bestiarius.
Bestiarius, Ari, appears lizard folk. He wears studded leather, but it's sort of like a gladiator style armor with like this big champion style belt depicting several animals. He doesn't speak, but you all hear in your heads, "Hey guys."
Welcome back to you, Bestiarius. I hope you brought some snacks.
Oh yeah, this small bit.
Next, let us hear from Edifang.
Yeah, so Edifang appears to be human. He carries a large shield with a emblem of a skeletal bear paw covering the whole front of it. He's wearing scale mail, carries a battle axe, and appears to be blinded in his right eye.
Welcome back to you, Edifang. I'm glad to see that you have settled nicely into your new body. Well done in Return of the Fallen. Next, let's hear from Garzak. You seem to have incited a bit of terror in your contestants in your previous appearance. This makes me happy. I'd like you to do the same for the enemies that will stand in our path. Garzak.
Yeah, so what you all see before you, standing about roughly 6.5 feet tall, Garzak once appeared probably closer to what Ari might have looked like, but now he's a bit twisted. His right foot is that of his original kind, however, is now covered in black scales of green. His left foot is the same, but the ebony scales were replaced by thick, callous, human-looking flesh. Patches of these jet black scales continue to creep up his legs. His torso is a sea of shadow scales. If you could see past his scale mail, scale mail. But patches of flesh and scales kind of haphazardly placed together. Skipping up to his face, the right side of his face has his original eye, but it now looks overgrown in comparison to the rest of his new head. The rest of this side kind of looks like a sick attempt to mold human facial structures over a lizard folk's skull, so it's kind of stretched out looking. The left side of his face has an eerie beauty to it. It's kind of like one half is just like a straight up monster, the other half is like a pale, almost banshee-like skin with a regular human eye on that side of his face, but the eye is snake-like in appearance. On top of his head is a mop of unkempt black hair that falls down to his shoulders. After all that horribleness, what you would know is that he is armed to the teeth with various weapons, javelins, hand axes, a bow is somewhere in there with arrows. It's kind of amazing how he's been able to place all this stuff on his person.
Glad to have you back amongst us, Garzak. Good luck to you in the games to come. Izera, you're quite talented with that bow. Welcome to the Crucible once again.
Thank you. You see, Izera is Gitzerai. She's relatively short, about 5 feet tall. I wear studded leather, and underneath I have a pale yellow greenish skin with brownish tattoos on me, some of it like spirally galaxy on my neck and different places, but you don't see a lot of skin on my hands. Perhaps you see those. And I have a couple of sword and scimitar in my back, reddish colored hair, a bit kind of knotted, but kind of tied up in a bundle. And that's about me.
Good to see you once again, Izera, and of course, good luck in the battle to come. Lomax.
Yep, Lomax is human. He carries a shield, his longsword sheathed. See a couple of javelins at his back. He wears chainmail and a cloak, shimmering blue, with the tributes to the contestants in episode 12 around it. You can remember from the description before. And he... that's pretty much it, really. And he looks at Therumgul and he says, I may not make it out of here, but know this, you cannot win. For, regardless of whether your armies march across the world or not, as a wise halfling once said, there is good in this world, and it's worth fighting for.
How very quaint of you, Lomax. I love your positivity. There are layers upon layers of my plan that you cannot possibly comprehend. I look forward to seeing the look of disappointment on your face, whether it is today or in the future, as enlightenment comes to you. But still, I wish you the best of luck today, and perhaps I can convince you to switch sides and join me. Time will tell. time will tell. And now let us hear from Novar Olerin.
Novar stands about 6'1", a very lean and athletic frame. He is almost completely covered in clothes, all of which are the colors could be reminiscent of fall. A lot of dark greens, browns, and golds. His right hand has a fingerless glove. On his left hand, it is completely covered, as he has instead of a full shield, he carries a buckler that acts as his shield, so he can still be as lithe and move be as easily able to move as possible while still being able to block. Over it on his back, you see a rapier that is sheathed. He has a full beard that seems to be very well maintained and trimmed, and his hair is just as well maintained. Dreads that are pulled back into a ponytail to keep them out of his eyes, and his eyes are shimmering gold, and he just kind of looks in silence over everyone as he sees at least one familiar face outside of the one that is currently asking for introductions to the Eyes of Truth.
An impressive performance last time. Very decisive in your actions and putting a nice point of finality into your Return of the Fallen appearance. I hope to see more of that from you, Novar. All right, now that we've met our contestants for this evening, let us give you a chance to get to know one another a little bit better while we give the Eyes of Truth an opportunity to place some wagers. This will be your 5 minutes of free chatting at no cost. It's almost like a free intermission action. You're welcome. So, you have 5 minutes to talk amongst yourselves, and it begins now.
Lomax, I was not expecting to see you so soon.
No. Likewise, Novar. It is good to see you again, my friend.
Hopefully this time it'll work out better than the last time we were in a group setting.
Hopefully this time there will be no lava.
No lava, no elephants, no air elementals, no lizard with a magic crown.
Screaming.
It is reassuring. It is reassuring that even in this world, friendship still matters and seems to create positive aspect. I like it.
As Palion is my guide, I am not a violent person.
We were friendlier than and I kind of look at the lizard folk in the room, than some others in our past group. At least with each other. We had a bit of understanding.
I gladly accept any race as my friend. Unless they prove otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind a magic crown, if you ask me. But I think you were talking about him, weren't you? Points to the other lizard folk.
Yes, the lizard folk in our battle. They seem to not like humans for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, well, you know, can't speak for everyone, but I mean, I don't know if you saw my episode, but I kind of have a bit. I'll just tell you what I want to do with my intermission action. I'm going to do a goodberry, and I don't know if you guys know this, but technically watermelon are goodberry. So, you know, we kind of have a thing here. So to the winners go the watermelons.
Ooh, refreshing.
Yeah.
That's cool. The enemy in the first room will be a tough fight.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You have to work together to defeat the enemy.
Yeah.
Regardless of what Therinkul says.
I agree.
It's the only way that we all get out of here alive.
Yes. And if we can piss Therinkul off while we do it, even better.
I agree to an extent, because the last time we worked together and all of us made it through, it did not work out well when it was everyone in the group coming right at you. Once you are aware that like only a certain number can move forward, it kind of changes the literal landscape of the battle.
I agree. After Cedillion and yourself fell, it was me versus 3.
Hey,
that didn't bode well.
But again, we are making plans for something we know nothing about. You cannot plan for a monster you have not seen. So who knows? Perhaps it is something that could just actively affect all of us at the same time, and we will have to attack at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, the only preparation we got now is versatility.
No plan survives the first act of combat.
I have a bit of healing, so I will be looking to keep us all up, at least in the first.
Oh yeah, and you'll all get a good berry, just to, if anybody goes down, or if you want to just, I don't know, it's only really like a little bit of healing, but if you want to take it yourself, you can. But everybody will get one, so you have the opportunity to bring somebody out if you want.
Does a good berry work on an unconscious?
I think last time, Dave, you rolled that it can be used in that way, right?
Yeah, but a full action.
Not a watermelon. Yeah, it would take an action.
Yeah.
So are you offering the good berries now?
After the intermission, obviously, I have to cast the spell.
Very well, that is your 5 minutes. I hope that you used it wisely and have a bit of a plan on who you are going to choose as your ally and who you are going to target. As much as you want to work together, that's not going to save you. Come on, show me your evil side here. Show me how much this matters to you. But before we do that, I would like to let all of you know the wonderful gifts that I have brought into the gift shop for you today. This could prompt you to strive to be first in the intermission actions, because these will change the landscape of the battlefield, as you said, for sure. So, as Thermghoul turns around, you see the display cases and shelves of the gift shop appear around him and in front of all of you. Up first in Tier 1, you all see hovering in the air, just kind of slowly turning a 360, an ornately designed folding fan with exquisite artistry on its folded paper-like material that forms the bulk of the fan, and then its bright metallic ends on both sides for when it's folded together and closed down into a small rectangle. Also in Tier 1, a roughly 18-inch long golden wand with a variety of gems, designs, and additions built into and onto it. It looks a little bit like children's building blocks or like Tinker Toys, with these gems protruding from the side of it in these like tower-like protrusions, and also some gems inlaid right into the main structure, like the handle. In Tier 2, you see a metal rod with like a leather hand grip on it. And at the business end, 3 tentacles that seem to be like writhing in the air on their own, kind of extending outward and then retracting back. But there are 3 distinct tentacles that are moving attached to the end of this metal rod. Also in Tier 2, a staff roughly 4 feet long that looks to be made from like a hard wood or perhaps bone or some sort of like natural element, clearly not metal though. And at the top, a frail-looking hand with bent joints, and seems to be kind of emaciated, and all the like fingers are kind of gnarled at the end of this staff. Then in tier 3, a wand with a roughly carved and like knotted texture throughout the whole length of it, about 18 inches, and all these like knots. They seem like they would make for a nice firm grip, but then at the very end, like an insectoid face coming out of the end of the wand, and then like tentacles coming from the mouth of the insect. And then finally in tier 3, you see a mote of energy, and as you look at it, takes the appearance of a weapon that would be useful to you. But no matter what weapon this is, the common element amongst all of its forms are these vicious-looking barbs or hooks that seem like on impact would cause some pretty nasty wounds. So this, once again, can be any weapon that you are proficient with, and has these vicious looking hooks and like blades coming out the side of it. And there you have it, everyone. Our special items in the gift shop for you all to enjoy. With that out of the way, it is now time to determine the order in which you will take your intermission action. Keep in mind you only have one each, as this is our initial round before Hunter and Hunted. Ari, if you can give us a roll, please. 9. Edifang, 14. Garzak, 21. Izera, 22. Lomax, a 13. And Novar, 11. Then at this point we will carry on with our intermission actions, and I will see you all after they have been completed. Greetings, Izera. It is your turn for your intermission action. What would you like to do?
Greetings, Thrangle. I would like to look at some of the merchandise you've offered us.
Very well. A trip to the gift shop. No problem. What catches your eye, Izera?
Price might be steep, but I am intrigued by this weapon with barbed spike on them. They seem to be calling me.
Indeed. Are you wishing to make a purchase? Well, before you answer that, I just want to clarify that this is a melee weapon only, just for your awareness.
It's a melee weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, that's a little bit different. Okay, the price might be a little bit steeper than I thought then. Are you going to divulge me, Thranduil, in your great wisdom, the knowledge of what those weapons do before I commit to buy them?
Oh, absolutely not. That would spoil the fun. Part of the risk is not knowing what they do.
I see. In which case, I might go for the golden wand.
Okay, then if you would like to make this purchase, tell me, would you like to keep it permanently or just for this episode?
Just for this episode.
Very well. Then, should you survive the episode, your consequence, whatever it may be, will also fade after this episode. Very well. Then I need one d20 roll from you. 16. That would be -2 to your constitution. Are you good with
-2 to my constitution. Does it affects my max at this point, or do I keep the max point that I have?
It would affect your max and current.
-2. I will go for that.
You'll keep that? Okay. Very well. So -2 con, so just make sure you adjust that on your character sheet. But now, with that done, this is a Wand of Wonder, and because it's a gift shop item, anyone can use it, despite any prerequisites it might have normally. It has 7 charges, and you can use an action to use one of those charges and choose a target within 120 feet. The target can be a creature, an object, or just a point in space. And then you roll a D100, and there are 100 different things that this thing does.
All right.
Yeah,
Might be good.
that will happen. Whatever you roll.
All right. And can I drink a potion before we're done with my turn?
Yep, we can. What would you like to drink?
I have a potion of heroism.
Okay. Potion of heroism. Anything else you would like to purchase, Izera?
No, thank you.
In that case, your intermission action has come to a close, and I will see you shortly. Welcome, Garzak. It is your turn for your intermission action. What would you like to do?
I would like to parlay with Illithilich.
Just one moment, please, and I will fetch him for you. Greetings, Idefang. You have been summoned to a parley circle by Garzak. Do you accept or refuse his invitation?
I accept.
Very well, in that case, Garzak, you have 3 minutes and it begins now.
Illithilich, Novar, and Bomax have already joined. You saw it as they talked. There can only be 3. I'd rather it be us than them.
I agree. Barbarians should stick together.
Who else do you think should join us?
I believe that Ari would be a good third member to round out this team.
I agree. If he can't be convinced, then he needs to go quickly.
Also agree.
Those skin changers are nearly as endurable as we are.
My appearance might not be exactly what it seems as well.
Very well. On your turn, are you planning on going to the gift shop, or speaking of Ari?
I hadn't decided, but we believe that maybe speaking with Ari might be a better choice.
Very well. If you speak with him, and he seems to have already joined an alliance with somebody else, hand him this, and I will hand you a potion. Only give him this if he seems to have allied himself with the paladins. If not, give it back to me. Do not drink.
You said to give it to him if he aligns with us, or if he aligns with the paladins?
If he aligns with the paladins. If he joins us, he need not drink it.
Understood. I think our first order of business, though, is to focus on the creature.
Yes. No need to split the party now.
All right, gentlemen, that is your 3 minutes. It's a good place to jump in, as I believe you have already come to an agreement. Thank you both for your participation in this intermission action. It is now concluded. Greetings, Idefang. It is good to see you once again. It is your turn for your intermission action. I hope that you and your guest have come to an agreement on what you would like to do. And what would that be?
We will parley with Ari.
Excellent. Just one moment and I will fetch him for you. Greetings, Ari. You have been summoned to a parley circle by Idefang. Do you accept this invitation or refuse it?
Yeah, I'll accept.
Very well, in that case, Idefang, you have 3 minutes and it begins now.
Ari, has been brought to my attention that you would make a good third addition to our team.
Third.
Garzak and I have agreed to join sides in some later happenings. We all agree that the first order of business is to make it through round 1. After that, we know that the Paladins have pretty much joined together. We could tell by the talking amongst themselves in the prior episode friendship. They've
Yeah, it's pretty clear there's always going to be an odd man out there. So you've already teamed up with Garzak?
Yeah.
All right, mate. Sounds good to me. Just look out for each other's backs. You got any details you want to discuss?
Not too many right now. We just decided that I think the 3 of us would make a pretty formidable team.
All right.
If you could help out with any type of healing, that would be great, and both of us will watch your back.
Yeah. I mean, my game mostly is just, you've seen it before. I just shape into creatures and, do what I can. But, when that runs out, I can do some healing. What are you two more inclined to contribute to helping? I don't really know your game.
Well, Garzak is lizard folk, barbarian. So
Right. So he's gonna be up front.
He will come up front, and as I am also a barbarian, I will also be up front. You may notice some changes in me. Like you, I do happen to change a bit to a form that's more suitable.
All right.
Combat.
I'll take that into consideration. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all kind of suited to take a few hits, but when it gets to be dire, I'll keep that in mind in terms of healing.
Very well. I'll take that as a yes from you. And just remember, we survive together, and our enemies fall under our boots.
Sounds good to me.
Well, I don't want to waste your last 10 seconds if there's anything else you want to say, but it seems like you have come to an agreement. Anything?
Oh yeah, do you have any preferences for berries? I could do something other than a watermelon, just my particular taste. Technically bananas are berries, and there's a few others that are out there.
I've not seen any of those types of berries before.
Alright, well, I'll just trust you like watermelon then.
Okay, great. You've chosen your fruit. I think everything has been concluded. I look forward to seeing what unfolds in the battles ahead. Greetings, Lomax, Holy Knight of Palion. I have to say, I had high hopes for you initially. I was very sad that your death has brought such a divine influence to you and your behavior. I hope that this decision is not final.
Well, I love to disappoint you, Therumgu, but it is final. Sir Dalian showed me the error of my ways. He is a fine example of what we should inspire to be.
Oh, sorry, for a moment there I wanted to vomit in my mouth a little bit. Okay, at any rate, it is your turn for your intermission action. What would you like to do?
I have no idea. I would visit the gift shop.
Shopping makes everyone feel better. You can see that most of the special items for this evening remain. However, in Tier 1, the golden wand with all the gems all over it is gone. Anything catch your eye here, Lomax? Did you have your heart set on this bejeweled wand? Were you really hoping?
I kind of guessed what it was.
Oh, you're aware of these arcane items.
Yeah. I'm not a gambling man, but we're only here once. I'm going for the sword. Tier 3.
So apparently you are a gambling man. Oh, my influence is rubbing off on you already. Shortly.
Yes. From our lofted position, I was deciding not to gamble, and when it's come down to it, I've thought, fuck it.
No plan survives first contact with the enemy, correct? We do what we must do in the moments that are presented to us. Believe me, there is no one more familiar with this than I. A5. So this is the Vexed condition, which is a homebrew condition. So your int and wisdom-based ability checks and saving throws are at disadvantage.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
15. -2 to your dex.
-2 dex.
Oh, I just realized I didn't ask whether you wanted this permanently or just
permanently.
For tonight. Permanently.
Yeah,
okay.
permanently.
Good. Okay, last d20, please. 7. Frail. Con-based checks and saving throws at disadvantage. Good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not good with it, but yeah.
Willing to endure it.
Yeah.
Anything else that we
I'll
can
sort that out.
provide to you today, Lomax?
No, that's it.
Then good luck to you. I hope you're not betrayed horribly.
Can I have my item?
Oh, my apologies. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Yeah, so which form would you like the sword to take, first of all?
A longsword.
Longsword, okay. So it is a sword of wounding +1. So +1 to your attack and damage rolls. Also, any time that you successfully hit with the weapon, you can choose to give the target a wound. When you give them a wound, then they take D4 necrotic damage every turn. And the more you hit them, the more wounds you can give them, and then of course the D4s get multiplied by the number of wounds.
Stack up.
Yeah, they stack. Excellent.
that's it.
Then best of luck in the games to come. Greetings, Novar. It is your turn for your intermission action. Do you know what you would like to do?
I would like to go shopping. I need a weapon that can get something from a distance. I don't need any of the magical items you presented, just some general wares.
Very well. So around Theramgul, the shelves and display cases of the gift shop appear. What would you like to purchase, Novar?
Well, given my elven lineage, a longbow, a quiver, and at least 20 arrows.
Okay, yeah, so just make sure you take off the gold value of all of those.
Yep. Also, 3 potions of healing.
And 3 potions of healing, okay.
Yes.
Are you sure I can't interest you in any of the special items?
At this moment, no. I believe I got lucky meeting a few familiar faces. So no grease palming was needed.
I like that confidence. I'm glad that you have the utmost faith in your friends that they will not betray you.
It's not faith. It's just I know who to watch for.
Good. This hopefully will be a valuable tool for you. In that case, I have nothing left for you other than to say good luck in the battle to come. Greetings, Ari. It is your turn for your intermission action. What would you like to do?
Hey man, same as last time, lather, rinse, repeat. Just gonna, and he does like hand gestures and mumbles a few things. And he has 2 watermelon and 8 just regular old good berries. Like, all right, see you, man.
Short and sweet.
Oh yeah, very sweet.
But do you mind if I sample your wares?
I mean, if you go, I was going to cut it with a scimitar. I don't have like a dagger or anything. Do you have a way to cut this?
Oh, yeah, no problem. I can take care of it.
There you go. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, well, anything else that you'd like to prepare in your intermission action?
No, that's it.
Okay, great. In that case, good luck, and we will see you momentarily. Currently shrouded in darkness, I would like everybody to give a warm COF welcome to Mr. B. Dave Walters. B. Dave, welcome to Crucible of Fate. It is such an honor to have you here. Myself and Steve got to play one of your games at Air D&D, and it was a phenomenal time, and it was just great to pay attention to everything that you do and how you do it. Great learning experience, well worth it. And welcome to the Crucible. Please just tell everyone a bit about yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the dozens and dozens of my fans cheering there. Before we go on, I'd just like the record to show, offered Steve Godhood. He turned it down. Savage. My name is B. Dave Walters. You can find me all over the interwebs. Wherever fine streaming content can be located. I have contributed to almost every major TTRPG. I've written for Marvel. I've written a D&D comic book. Do a lot of D&D streaming, dungeon mastering, playing, a lot of Vampire the Masquerade, storytelling, playing, pretty much whatever you can think of. I've done it. You can follow me on the tweetagrams and all over the interwebs at B. Dave Walters. Happy to be here. And I would say I apologize for what's about to happen, but I think you all know I am not sorry.
And they're all expecting it and signed up for it. For there can be no glory without the risk of death here within the Crucible of Fate. As you re-emerge into the Fate's Hand Tavern, you are welcomed by the stone and antique wood decor within this place, dimly lit by torchlight. As you all see one another kind of apparate within this shapeless open room, a bit ovular at the moment, Tharamgul steps from the shadows with a wide grin on his face. Well, everyone, with your intermission actions complete, it is now time for us to get to the action of our episode tonight. So, the first thing we must do is find which lair you will be going to. And I will give that honor to Ari, a 4. Excellent, 4. Well, this has been taken already, so we will make our way up the list to the first free lair, which I see is number 12. Permit me one moment while I advise the creature residing in this lair that he will have guests within his home. School is in session, as you will have the honor of facing the professor. I genuinely feel sorry for all of you, for You are no match for this being of great power. But for you, the eyes of truth, this is my gift to you within this gladiatorial arena, entertainment at its finest. So, with the Lair being selected, if you would please follow me to the gated gallery. And with that, you see Tharamgul turn with a bit of a flourish and begin almost gliding away from you all. In just but a moment, the environs around you shift from the stone and wood of the Fate's Hand Tavern into that of the grand archway of the gated gallery, and as he floats through this archway, you all find yourselves within a room filled with at least 50 monolithic slabs of what appears to be obsidian or some dark stone. You're now familiar enough with how this works, and moving to the column for Hunter and Hunted, you can see that the portal is jumping from stone to stone until it arrives in front of all of you. And Tharamgul turns once again with his robes kind of flowing out behind him. You know how this all works. You will step in turn, and when you arrive on the other side, you will meet whatever is waiting for you. This game will end when one of you perishes at the hands of the creature, or on the off chance that perhaps you are able to defeat it. Killing one another is highly encouraged. Keeps things efficient around here, but that will not end the game. It will only increase the chances that you will become the target of the creature you will face. So, this is your last chance to say what you wish to your fellow contestants, to me, or to the eyes of truth, the 1,482 pairs of eyes that are now watching intently at you. And with that, everyone, we're going to roll our initiative for the combat, and we'll just do it now to get it out of the way, and also to go in turn to figure out what you guys have in your hands as we do. 21 for Ari, Idafang, a 12, Garzak, 17, Izera, 14, Lomax, 9, Nova, 6. All right. Okay, so in initiative order, if there's anything that you want to say, 6 seconds worth, and if you could please tell us what is in your hands. So, Ari.
Yeah, in his hands you see him fumbling with 2 huge watermelons, which he lays down on the table. Like I said, man of my word, when it gets the watermelons, and he hands out the remaining, well, not the remaining, but 5 Goodberry to the other contestants.
Garzak.
Garzak is only holding his shield, but his hand is free to grab any of his many one-handed weapons. He'll take the Goodberry and put in some pouch he has. Yeah. He'll just say, the weak link will not return.
Okay, and you step through the portal?
Yep.
All right. Ari, anything you want to say before going in?
No.
Okay. Izera.
I'm holding a shield in one hand. I'm going to grab a berry, sort of gesture thank you, and put it in a pouch and move into the portal while grabbing my bow in the other end.
Okay, so just to be clear, shield in one of your hands and then the bow in the other?
Yeah.
Okay. Idafang.
Idafang has a shield strapped to one arm. You can see a couple javelins sticking out the top of it. He grabs the Goodberry, places it in his in his waistband and grabs hold of his battle axe. Takes a look around and says, remember, work together, we all make it out alive. Steps through the portal.
Lomax has a shield in one hand. He takes a goodberry, puts it in a component pouch, and he thanks Ari for the goodberry, and then he looks at the other's truth and says, I may not return, but the light of Palion will always, always shine, and steps through.
And Novar.
Nova has been reacquainting himself with a weapon he has not used in quite some time, his the bow. So he's kind of drawing it, and then when we begin to walk through, he takes the good berry, gives a slight nod, and then walks through the portal.
As you all step in through the portal, you immediately feel the shadowed hands grabbing onto you firmly, pulling you towards your unknown destination. The light disappears as there's nothing but black in this place, and the many, many pairs of hands that are grabbing you from all directions, pulling you and the others towards what awaits you. And at this point, I will turn it over to B. Dave to let the contestants know what it is that they are feeling as they arrive within this lair.
Before I begin, I'd just like to point out for you and everyone who is watching with us, I have two screens here. You all are here, but most of my info's over there. So if you see me like rocked all the way to the side, it's because I'm looking at my sheet, not ignoring you. As you come through the portal, it takes a moment for your senses to regain and begin to report accurately. There is a nauseating twist in your stomach as your eyes tell you something and your feet tell you something quite different as you stand on uneven floors, which as you look down seem like solid stone and yet also seem to be simultaneously warped. As you look at the warrior next to you, they're simultaneously standing there and yet also some distance away and yet also uncomfortably close. Are you standing on the wall? Are you standing on the ceiling? As you begin to get your bearings about this place, it is simultaneously regal, yet horrifying. It has all of the trappings of a wizard's tower. There are tomes and apparatuses and beakers that are burning, experiments being conducted, all manner of horrid things floating in all manner of fluid suspension. And yet, while you see the trappings of traditional sorcery that anyone would recognize, there's an odd biological component to some of it, as pillars of stone, upon closer inspection, actually seem to be made out of some kind of odd, fleshy, fatty, slimy substance. And out of the corner of your eye, there always seems to be something moving, sliding, just out of view, and every time you turn to see, it's like it's not there. As this nightmarish vision continues to coalesce, it is almost like a nightmare of a Victorian gentleman's study that a blind person had and then tried to somehow draw afterwards. And in the middle, there is a single figure standing there with their back to you. They're not terribly large, less than 6 foot, very slim, wearing an incredibly fine red regal robe, the one thing that seems truly elaborate and resplendent out of everything that you see here. In a pale hand, you see a black book but you can't make out their features over a hooded head, which turns just slightly and says, out loud to all of you in the common tongue, I was not expecting visitors. What brings you to me today?
Okay, so this is a lot different from the last time we did this. Oh, we did
Yeah,
not have
most
a
of the monsters kind of know we're already there to kill them. You all hear in your heads.
I think we're here to ruin your nice clothes, Professor.
Or not.
Ah, yes. A Branga all. Still lacking in the fundamentals, I see. So, friends, and the book slams shut. I already know how this goes, and I think in your heart of hearts you do too. So I'm going to put out a simple offer now that I don't expect any of you to take me up on just yet, because I've dealt with enough heroes to know that you think that goodness will prevail, camaraderie, blah, 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 looking very much at Edifang. But the first one to pledge your loyalty to me, I will let live, and will give you some insight into the predicament that you find yourself with this archivist and all of this. And he rotates and he turns and looks at you, and you take in a number of equally unsettling things, with each realization becoming worse than the one before it. The first thing you notice is the tentacles. Long tentacles hang from his face. And you all, being storied adventurers, have come across the Illithids before, but this one's different somehow. Instead of the bluish purple slime that you are accustomed to, he seems pale and gaunt and worn. His eyes are pale white and roomy, and his flesh is pocked down to the point that you can see his skin moving on occasion, even revealing that horrible beak that lay underneath the tentacles. And he simply rubs at it slightly, and he says, to be clear on the nature of your contest here, is you're here either until I fall or one of you does, correct?
Correct.
You must realize you have no chance. With but a word, I control death itself. I could reduce any of you like this, but that seems like a waste. One of you will be of use to me. I tell you again, the first to join me lives. Oh, and Ari, you hear in your mind. That's a very interesting trick. Perhaps I will show you what a real mind is capable of. And with that, he begins to levitate into the air.
And as he levitates into the air, everyone, we are going to switch over so you can get a first glimpse at our battle board for today. So I'll be down here for this fight. I'll give B. Dave the captain's chair. I'll be doing the rolls for the creature that B. Dave is controlling. So if I'm a little slow on the uptake, don't be afraid to give me a little poke. All right. So this is what you all see before you. An open area. And just so that everyone knows who is who, this is Izera over here, the green-based miniature with the bow. We have Novar, which is our paladin here. We have Edifang, Lomax, Garzak, and Ari. These pillars will offer some cover as per raw on number of points intersected, but essentially they'll offer you half cover if you're behind behind it, and your target is on the opposite side. Over here, these appear to be pools of water of unknown depth, a raised platform 5 feet high, and then another 5 feet, so a total of 10. And then above that, you see this creature that has just been described to you levitating up into the air. Of course, these are not necessarily the walls of the room, but they are the walls of the battlefield area, and you cannot leave even though there are holes in the side. Any questions about the battlefield before we begin combat?
Doesn't shrink, does it?
You don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't.
How about the lighting?
Bright light for mechanical purposes. Narratively, it's a little bit dimmer than that, but for mechanical purposes, bright light.
How high is the ceiling?
The ceiling is... How high is the ceiling? To put you on the spot, B. Dave, but what would you like?
We'll say 60 feet.
60.
I would say as you look at it, it simultaneously looks like it is up among the stars, and as you feel like you could touch it, but mechanically 60.
Okay. Ari, you are up.
While he was monologuing, can we insight check him about the offer?
Yeah, go for it.
To like just at least try to glean like truthfulness in some respect?
Sure. Give me an insight check.
Can I choose to fail a roll?
Yeah. Whoa, natural 20 plus
Good thing I
5.
wasted it on that.
I'm telling the truth. Whoever takes my offer, I will not kill, and I will help with out of their predicament, at least with information. I'm not lying about that. I will say also with the crit, I'm horrifically evil. I'm just as happy to paint the walls with your blood as see what happens next. And I will also add to that crit, I'm not doing it to help you. I'm doing it to mess with the archivist. That's why I'm telling the truth.
Your
Ari
turn,
just
Ari.
says to himself and kind of telepathically to the others, oh man, this guy's got something really against the archivist, huh?
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
I like the archivist.
He's going to wild shape into a brown bear. Sorry, before he wild shapes, he's going to cast Barkskin. And that's he's going to... He'll move just 20 feet, like in the direction of the professor. That's his turn.
Okay, so 20 feet of movement, 5, 10, 15. Okay, and your bark skin is not concentration?
I think it is.
Dungeon Master, after his turn, I would like to use a legendary action.
Okay. Acknowledged, yeah.
Yeah, it is concentration.
It is concentration. All right, so I'm putting a condition marker on you. Does that end your turn, Ari?
That's it.
2 things, Dungeon Master. One, I've asked you something here in chat.
Okay.
And I'm going to invade the mind of someone.
Okay, all right. So we are going to roll randomly. Ari is a roll of 1. Edafang is a roll of 2. Garzak is a roll of 3. Izera is 4. Lomax is 5, and Novar is 6, and this is just based on how you appear alphabetically in D&D Beyond. So here is our first targeting roll for the evening. It is a 5. Lomax.
I knew it. Well, first of many. Fate Sphere.
Okay, Fate Sphere being used. That is Lomax's first Fate Sphere. I'll re-roll our targeting die. Oh, Lomax.
Oh, I'll take it.
You're gonna take it?
Yep.
Okay.
Intelligence save as I am casting Detect Thoughts.
Intelligence save, please, Lomax.
Intelligence save. So that'll be at disadvantage.
Yeah, you were vexed, which is a homebrew condition. So your int and wisdom-based ability checks and saving throws are at disadvantage. Yeah,
That's
so
fine.
That
That's
is
shuttle bow.
unfortunate.
It is. Never mind. Oh dear.
Oh, he won.
Yeah, I can go ahead and tell you that's not enough. Well, one thing I want to make sure that I say on the record, for the rest of you, all you see is just as I begin to dramatically float into the air, I just as dramatically start coming down. But you see my white eyes sort of close and my head just sort of tilts towards Lomax, where I have a couple of questions for you, sir. First, surface thoughts. What's Lomax thinking?
Lomax is thinking this inherently evil being must be removed.
Excellent. I apologize. I read this wrong. It is actually a wisdom save. So far, I would have gotten your surface thoughts no matter what. So, actually, that's not intelligence. It's wisdom. I apologize.
Wisdom.
Although, realistically, I guess you still rolled a 1. I'd leave that up to the dungeon master.
I'll still get him to re-roll it, but
Yeah, I'm proficient in wisdom save, so it gives me a chance.
Excellent.
but still at disadvantage, though. Correct?
Yeah.
14.
That's not going to be enough.
14 is still, unfortunately, not enough. But for the sake of clarification, I'm going to put it out there. Lomax, you feel this presence start to force its way into your consciousness, but it isn't overly unpleasant. It is almost like the professor is sort of standing behind you, and it feels like he's got his hands on your shoulders and is whispering in your ear, even though you can clearly see him up ahead of you. And he says, "Oh, Lomax, so brave, so strong. What's underneath there? What are you truly afraid of?" And you can't fight it, Lomax. Something you're truly terrified of leaps into your mind, unbidden, but I will let you tell me what that is.
Lomax is terrified of not being redeemed for his previous sins.
Oh, you want to walk into the light of Pelion. Sorry, I just need to be rude. It's perhaps I could help you with this, Lomax. I might, despite appearances, be able to help you walk a more righteous path. Is that something that you would like? You must know, in order to not walk in the light, I must have some insight into what it means to walk in light.
I don't trust you.
You shouldn't, but it doesn't mean I'm not telling the truth. Ponder it, friend, although time is short. That's it for my detect thoughts as concentration. It is still up, but that is it for my legendary action.
Okay, understood. Then that makes it Garzak's turn.
I'll step forward, taking out a javelin, and then kind of peeking around the pillar. So I'm going to be up against the pillar if I can.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Peeking around the pillar at this creature, I'm going to speak to it in a language that, for mechanical purpose and for full disclosure, I'm speaking in Abyssal.
Okay.
And I'm just going to send you this message.
Could you send me the message as well?
Well,
Yep. Anyone that speaks Abyssal, let us know, and we'll make sure that Wesley sends you what was said. Okay. Anything else on your turn, Garzak?
I will take the dodge action.
Okay. Dodge action taken.
Dungeon Master, I will send you what my response was.
Izera, it is your turn.
Let's begin with a bonus action to cast Zephyr Strike.
Bonus action, Zephyr Strike.
I'm going to move now to that pillar, and as I'm passing by Novar, I say, I hate Illithids. I drop my shield at my feet.
Okay, shield
And
dropped. Just for everyone that's watching, normally that is an action, but it's canon in Crucible of Fate round 1 that we're letting people drop shields as a free action for now.
I grab one of the +1 magic arrow from my quiver using Dread Ambusher and the advantage that Zephyr Strike gives me.
Yep. Okay, so you're using the advantage for this attack?
Yes, indeed.
All right, and just for clarity, Dread Ambusher gives you an extra attack on this initial round?
Dread Ambusher makes me add my... sorry, I should have done that before. It's done with initiative. Forget about it. So basically, it's my walking speed increased by 10. And until the end of turn, if I take the attack action on my turn, I can make an additional weapon attack as part of that action, dealing an extra D8 of the weapon's damage type on that hit.
Okay.
I guess, yeah. So I just thought in case I needed to declare it before.
Okay.
But maybe I don't need to declare it, because it's an additional attack. And the other thing that I will do is favorite foe. But that's, I guess, if I hit. So let's go and roll that dice for advantage for the...
Your attack, your Zephyr Strike attack. Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
Dungeon Master, I sent you something else when convenient.
That's
Yep,
the
no
first
problem.
one, and that's the second one.
All right, so 23
Shield.
was the high roll so far?
23
Yes,
or
but
21? Okay.
23 was because I have advantage.
Yeah.
Got it.
But then I have to add, because I'm blessed, I add a d4, so that would be 27.
I won't put a shield up for this.
Okay, so
Oh,
20.
And then 27, and then I'm using a +1 arrow, so that would be 28.
All right. Is that one hit?
Yes.
All right, so go ahead and roll your damage. Ooh, max damage
that's
for 11
7.
plus 1.
Then +1, so that's 12. Thank you.
12 magical
then,
piercing, correct?
Yeah. So that's so we're starting at 12. Then we add the favorite foe, which is a die 4.
All right, so another 2 damage added to it.
So we're at 14, and then because of Zephyr's Strike, I add a d8.
Okay.
And here we go with 2.
Okay, so we're at 16.
So that's 16, and I think I got it all for that first attack.
Did you add the 1d8 for your Gloomstalker d8? You may have. I didn't know what you rolled, because your first attack is a Gloomstalker's a d8.
Thank you for the reminder. I used the d8 for the Zephyr Strike, but I forgot the one from the Gloomstalker.
Okay. Yeah, another D8.
Great DM, I can add one more to that. And what
Sure.
we have?
Another 2.
Having played at
Another
Gloomstalker, I know the first round's a big one, so add it all up.
18.
Then that brings us to Edifang.
There a concentration roll for detect thoughts or no? I don't know how to run Illithids.
Oh, yes, detect
I
thoughts.
suppose there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is concentration.
I'm sure you're gonna roll an 84, but
You never know.
14 plus 10 for 24.
You see, as the arrow hits, I just look down at it. I just say, Fascinating.
You mentioned you wanted to use Dread Ambusher, Izera, but did you commit to that?
Yeah, I could have. I said I was going to do that, and then in re-rolling all the dice, I did forget.
It's okay. Go ahead and re-roll your other attack, but this is just a straight roll, correct? Because it's not your Zephyr Strike. And 8, I don't think will cut it, even though it's a 9. But.
When the arrow goes whistling past my head, I just turn and look and I say, that's less impressive.
Eat a Fang.
I will drink a potion of heroism, and I am going to move up 15 feet.
Anything else for you, Eat a Fang?
That is it.
In that case, it is the creature's turn.
Dungeon Master, do you rule that legendary actions recharge on my turn or at the start of the round?
Your turn.
Excellent.
Thanks, Dave.
That is as written, so hey, I look out and I say, ooh, so brave, so strong. Let us see if your wills are as powerful as your bodies. And you see this twisting, kaleidoscopic purple light come. Actually, I suppose you need to tell me where I'm aiming it at, as I'm going to Mind Blast.
Mind Blast. Okay. A 5. Back to Lomax.
Mind Blast. That sounds nasty.
It's probably like a brain blast, like in Jimmy Neutron, so it's probably fine.
You see, centered.
Just don't even fight. Just let it in. Just let it happen. Don't even fight. Don't even fight.
Do you know, I'm going to take it because I'm right in the middle anyway, so it looks like, the way it was described, it sounds like some sort of radius. So even if I went over to the other side, I think I'd still probably be in it. So I'll take another one for the team.
Okay.
It's a 60-foot cone, Dungeon Master. So you tell me who I get in it.
Okay, 60-foot cone.
I'll move forward first if necessary.
I know that you had mentioned that you were coming back down. Did you go all the way down to the ground?
Yeah, because I couldn't keep concentrating on levitate. So if I need to move forward, I will if I can't reach from there.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So 60 feet. I think I have a 60-foot cone. Just one second.
This is I appreciate you guys bunching up like this for me. This is kind of optimal to tell you the truth.
Man, 60-foot cone gonna get all of us.
I had no choice. I'm last in the initiative order.
So yeah, from where you are now.
I can move forward 30 feet if that's what it would take to get in range.
Okay, so we'll go 5.
I would say I will move the minimum necessary to get them all. If it's 30, I'll go 30. If it's 20, I'll go 20.
So that would get you everyone but Eat a Fang with Lomax at the center of the cone from there.
Even if I move all 30, I can't get to Eat a Fang?
It's more just that he's not in the...
That's cool. That's fine.
Yeah,
Come back for you
else is
later.
in.
Everyone in the cone, I need intelligence saves.
Brilliant.
Okay, 14 for Ari is a fail.
That's not enough.
Jeez.
3 is not enough.
2.
And then just going back,
Two's a
Lomax
pass. No, two-
is a
two is
2,
also not
and
enough.
Novar is an 18.
18 is enough.
That would be 21.
So
21 is
Izera
enough.
succeeds and Novar succeeds.
So Dungeon Master, I will let you roll damage. And for those of you that failed, you are stunned, which Dungeon Master, I will also let you explain to them.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the damage first, guys. We'll wait till this disappears.
Well, shit.
25 psychic damage incoming to you that failed.
Yep, it's save or suck. So if you passed, it's nothing happens.
Nothing, yeah.
Question,
And
is it too late for me to face spear this?
your save?
Yeah.
No, you can you can go ahead and use the Fate Sphere at any time.
I'll do that.
Okay, Fate Sphere being used for Garzak. That's his first.
Okay. Yeah, never mind.
Still a 10.
I'm just gonna roll a concentration on Barkskin.
Okay, and guys, for you that are stunned, and I'm gonna get a marker out. You're considered
Garzak.
incapacitated. You can't move, and you can only speak falteringly. You automatically fail strength and dex saving throws, and attack rolls against you have advantage.
I drop Barkskin too on the concentration roll.
Oh, you dropped Bark's skin. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I didn't drop it. I lost it.
Yeah.
It was more taken from you.
Yeah, I like to say I dropped it, but you took it. It's fine.
You get to try and make the save again at the end of your turns to see if you can escape the stun. Otherwise, you're stunned for a minute.
Okay. Garzak is stunned.
I will forget that. So that's why I say out loud again at the end of your turn. As you see after this happens and they're stunned and the two of you aren't, I just turn and look at you and I say, Ysera, Novar, Edefang. Now we can conduct ourselves like gentlemen. And that's it for me.
Lomax's turn.
Right, I will. I'm going to have to spend a Fate Sphere to give myself a normal roll on my saving throw. Is it the start of my turn or the end?
The end.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. So it makes no difference anyway. So my.
Because if you are stunned, you're incapacitated, so you cannot act or react.
Yeah, so I will just. I've spent this Fate Sphere.
Okay, so that's your second.
So a flat roll. No.
5, no, not enough. So you remained stunned, incapacitated, and we move on now to Novar.
Actually, legendary action.
Sure, yeah.
I'm targeting myself for this, so we don't need to roll the target. You all see, I just sort of look out at each of you and I say, 3 on 1. That's not fair. And you see 3 more versions of me appear as I cast Mirror Image.
Novar.
I say out loud for everyone to hear. So, Garzak, how's that deal you took working out for you? And then I move forward next to where Ysera is. I try to go right next to her.
Novar, do you say that in common?
Yes.
I say back, he's much safer than you are, I assure you.
I then remove out of my lapel, I bring out a yellow diamond and I toss it, because I have 90 feet. I toss it over to the area where our squid buddy is. And since what everyone sees is when it breaks on the ground, an earth elemental emerges.
Large creature?
Yes, large elemental. I will just say attack, because it has to obey any command I give it. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything. So I will just tell it to attack the squids.
Okay.
And that'll end my turn. And now I will roll initiative for it because it has its own turn. It doesn't act on mine.
Okay.
It goes on my we have the exact same initiative because it has a -1 to dexterity. So we both are on 6, so I just go and then it goes. So I guess it goes next.
Perfect.
The first attack is a 10. It has +8 to hit. Then it's second.
Okay, and then the second one is a 13 for the D20, so it would be aimed at one of the illusions.
Yes, 21 total.
21 to hit.
That is enough to hit one of the duplicates.
Okay.
One of the illusions disappears. Is that it for the Earth Elemental?
Just to go back Is the floor also made of that fleshy material, or is it actually stone?
Your
Dungeon,
call.
I have no preference. I'll say it's like, well, mind flayers are gross. So, what is it that you're trying to figure out?
It was probably gonna burrow underneath. It was just gonna phase.
I'd say it could burrow. I mean, I'm not gonna take a mechanical thing from you for flavor.
Yeah. After that, it just kind of phases into the floor below, as its earth glide movement. It goes about. It just goes out of sight, so no one knows where it is except for me. We're connected in that way, and that'll end its turn.
Okay, then I'll remove it from the board for now. Top of round 2, it is Ari's turn.
It's a wisdom save or an intelligence save?
Detect thoughts is wisdom. Mind blast is intelligence.
Got it.
He's still stunned.
Not enough.
Garzak. 17.
Is not enough.
I see.
Garzak's still stunned.
And like, I can't even do a bonus action, can I?
No. And technically, anything that you were carrying has dropped to the ground as well. So just keep that in mind as well, guys. If and when you do recover, whatever was in your hands is now on the ground.
Okay.
Izera, you are not stunned.
I'm going to, I guess, for all sake and purpose, drop Zephyr's Strike, which is a concentration, to replace it with Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Another concentration.
Right, then
And then I'm going to mark it, of course, on our big friend, the professor. And here we go with my attack. Normal arrow. Let's
First, you have
see
to
what
see
happens.
if you hit an image for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I do.
D.
Sorry, I would add a D4 because of the bless.
Yep, no problem. But we just need a D20 first. So you've got a 21 on your attack roll, but we need a D20 to see if you hit an image or.
Okay. 12.
12. Yeah. So with 2 images, it's 8 and above, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. So it did hit an image.
You see the two me's just turn and look at each other and say, "You're going to be a problem, aren't you?"
Okay, after Izera, it is Edafang. Unless legendary for the creature? Nope. Okay.
Not right now. Everything's going according to plan so far.
Edafang will move straight up 30 feet. Oh, right behind the next pillar.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 right here.
It's fine. I'm going to bonus action shift.
And what aspect are you shifting?
Long tooth fang. You can use your fangs to make an unarmed strike.
Okay.
If you hit, you deal 1d6 piercing damage.
Okay, got it. Any action for Edafang at this point?
No action at this time.
No action taken. Very well. Any legendary?
No, but I'm about to get them all back. Let's see if I can recharge my Mind Blast.
All right. D6. Recharging it on a 5 or a 6. It is a 5. So the Mind Blast is back.
You all see just sort of a purplish blue light just kind of pulsates through my skull. And I look at all of you and I say, this has been a fine constitutional. I don't know that I'm quite done with you yet. I would like to roll my targeting dice, please.
All right. Target being rolled. It is a 3 this time for Garzak.
I will continue with my detect thoughts.
All right, so surface thoughts first. Garzak, what's going through your mind?
Garzak's thinking about getting to his potions, because that last hit hurt. Getting to his potions and then repositioning.
Okay.
And wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Okay. Assuming this is magical. Okay. 15.
That is not enough.
All right.
And Garzak, you suddenly see the professor right in front of you, disturbingly close. A couple of his tentacles reach up and just sort of gently caress your face slightly. And he says, well, that paladin seems to have given away our little agreement, but luckily enough for you, a deal is in fact a deal. I just want to know why. And the thing I'm digging for is, why'd you agree to do this, go into an agreement with this horrible creature? What is it that you hope to get out of this?
I hope for it to not be me here. Simple survival. Garzak doesn't have a direct quarrel with this creature. Honestly, outside of the archivist, you're the only Illithid he's ever seen. And I mean, you're not the reason why he's here in the Crucible. And so it's like, well, if you're being truthful, he gets to survive. If not, he didn't go right up to you. So in his mind, at least initially, he thought, I'm generally safe here behind this pillar. Not the most safe, he's learned at this point, but yeah, that's kind of this quick thought process.
As you feel this thing sort of rooting around in your mind, it's you said you're a lizard folk. Do you have like Tremont decorations on you?
Lizard folk
adjacent.
At this point, yeah. Initially, you would probably see as you're looking deep into his mind, like his initial form, and that looked much more like a typical lizard folk, and then you would see him being exploded in his episode, and then this is what he's been reconstituted as.
You see again these tentacles sort of like play over your face a little bit and sort of touch some of your clothing and things, and says, well, I'd thought you might have been of a little stronger will to resist my power, but fear not, Garzak. I intend to honor our agreement. And that's it for me. Done reading his mind.
No,
one mirror image left.
No movement or anything?
Nah, I'm good up here.
Okay. Perfect. In that case, it is Lomax's turn. You are also currently stunned.
Yeah, so at the end of my turn, I am going to... Could I spend a Fate Sphere to make my my intelligence save at normal roll?
Mm-hmm, yep.
And then can I spend another one to give myself advantage on it?
So you've now used 4, so you can go ahead and make your roll at advantage.
I really need to get up.
A minute stunned is a long time.
Still not enough.
Also not enough.
Is it not wisdom save and not intelligence?
This one is intelligence. Detect thoughts is wisdom. The mind blast is intelligence. I'm throwing around different abilities. I apologize. I know that's a little confusing.
I'm gonna... Can I spend another Fate Sphere to re-roll that full roll?
You sure can. That's your 5th. Go ahead and re-roll at advantage.
Well, it's one of them. I either get up or I'm dead. Oh, come on.
Oh, 15. Still
and
not
the last... Yep, last one.
All right. 6th and final Fate Sphere used by Lomax.
Oh, sorry. I've pressed the wrong button. Let me just... That's not... I meant to roll with advantage. Roll. There we go. 18.
18.
18 is enough.
Oh, come on!
Lomax, you are no longer stunned. Keep in mind that your gear is at your feet. And I believe
Can
for
I
you,
move?
that's your
Oh,
shield.
it's the ND chart. Yeah.
You see, I turn and look at you and I just say, it seems Pelion hasn't forgotten you. Perhaps I should just send you to him then.
Then that makes it Novar's turn.
I'm gonna I'm currently just following behind who's closest. I'm gonna get closer, but I want to try and stay at least somewhat behind a pillar. But I also know this has been mind attack, so cover doesn't really matter. I'm gonna move forward 25 feet.
25 gets you to here.
Yes. Can I still? Did that block me? Yes, it did. I'll move back another 5 feet. Yeah, right there, just so I can still see. And I'm going to shoot an arrow.
Dungeon Master, I've asked you a question, by the way.
Yep.
And just for my edification, I roll a d20, then I roll the attack.
Yeah, because you might be targeting the duplicate from the beginning.
Copy that.
But I only have one now.
That is a 2.
A 2 would go for the creature directly.
That is a 23 to hit.
I'll let that through.
Nice.
That is for 10 damage.
10 non-magical?
Non-magical.
Nothing happens. Just you sort of like pull it out and drop it.
Is it a full action to switch weapons, or is it a free action?
It's free to drop, and then your object interaction could be used to draw a new one if you'd like.
Yes, I'll switch it out. I'll put the bow on the hook on the latch of my rapier sheath, and then I'll bring out the rapier.
So you'd have to drop. You'd have to drop the bow if you actually want to draw the rapier.
Oh, I have to actually drop it down to the ground. Okay.
So it's up to you. You could just stow it and not draw anything, and then just draw it.
I'll just stow it for now. Yeah, I'll just stow it because now it's my big meaty friend who's underneath the steps' turn.
All right.
He is going to reemerge, and he's going to do the same thing. Attack. I'll roll the d20 first. That is an 18.
Yeah, 18 should hit the mirror image.
So that's one attack. So the mirror image is gone.
Okay.
And now,
yeah.
Roll a d20 for his other slam attack.
You have to roll to see if you hit the mirror image's AC.
Yeah, but it's not very high. That 18 would have been enough.
Gotcha.
It's 10 plus my dex, and I'm a lot of things, but dexterous is not one of them. So.
The 21 hit.
Shield.
Okay, shield used as a reaction.
Could I use a fate sphere to give me advantage to try a roll higher? Or advantage, at least?
Yeah.
How will this work? Because if it is egregiously high, I would not put a shield up. So I know we're twisting with fate here, so I'll go with whatever you say. So is my shield spent no matter what? Or if now he suddenly rolls a 30, do I potentially get my shield back?
You get your shield back, yeah. If I'm going to let the players re-roll, I should adjust on the fly. I'll let you do the same.
Got it.
Yeah, because I would have felt bad if that wasn't a thing. I don't normally feel bad during games, but I would have felt bad about that.
Don't feel bad. You know, I'm just a poor lich getting jumped by 6 people. I was just here chilling, reading my book. You know what I mean? Just being a horrifying brain-eating monster. And now, please, will someone not think of the Olympics?
For advantage, that was just me rolling again, correct?
Yeah, your attack roll again. You get to do your attack roll again.
Yeah, okay. So the second one was a miss. It doesn't matter. Either one was going to miss with the shield, but he still spent the shield. So,
all right.
Well, the shield remains until my next turn. So.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay,
that's the end of our turn.
Earth Elemental.
Oh, that was the earth elemental, yeah. So
Did
this-
it? But
this
it
brings us
surfaced. I
around-
didn't get the positioning. Did you want it just in front
sorry.
again?
Yeah, it was just good because it's gonna keep doing the
Pop up and
whack-a-mole
pop
thing.
Whack-a-mole, come up attacking.
Okay. Understood.
That puts us at the end of the second round, right?
It does, yeah.
Then I just say, as the elemental goes back down into the ground, I just sort of look and say, well, that's been just about enough of this. I think it's time to go ahead and finish things. And you see, he just takes the robe off, and underneath is this gaunt, worn rib cage, which you see kind of a black worm crawling up the middle of, and just sort of like point out a little bit. And I say, it's time to get done with this. And that's all I have to say right now.
At the top of round 3 for Ari, who is currently stunned.
Well, with that ominous warning, I'm going to use the Fate Sphere to give myself advantage
Okay, understood.
on this
Your
stunned roll.
first Fate Sphere. Okay, so 5 for the first
Let's
one.
see. I think that does it.
19.
That is enough to break the stun. Now I would like to use a legendary action.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Let me know who I'm targeting.
Firing. That would be Ari,
Where's Garzak relative to him?
right beside him.
Right next.
Is it just the two of them that are over there together?
Yep, the next closest is Lomax here.
Let me just ask a different question. If I drop a fireball on Ari, who all will it hit?
Ah, got
That's
you.
what I'm trying to figure out. All right.
Yeah. So if you drop it centered on Ari, 5, 10, 15, 20, it would hit these 3.
I got a backup plan for Garzak, so we're good. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop that fireball on Ari.
Okay, legendary.
Which unfortunately, Garzak will automatically fail to save because he's stunned. Anybody still stunned automatically fails.
Yeah.
It's all right. Told you, deal's a deal.
So brown bear, I need a
Sorry,
brown.
Dave, if it's centered on Ari, am I not 25 feet away?
Well, Ari is these 4 blocks, right?
Ah, right, okay. I
Yeah.
thought it was center.
Yeah. Okay,
It
so
was
I need a
worth a
dex
try.
save from the brown bear, please.
Gonna do it.
That's not going to cut it. And then Lomax, I need a dex save as well. 16. I don't think that meets the AC of the
Not
creature.
enough.
Not enough. So 3 fails here, folks. Just talking slowly, giving time in case people want to do stuff. But all 3 have failed. That fireball,
I'll use Absorb Elements.
absorb elements being used as a
Do I have a
reaction.
reaction if it's his legendary action and my turn is passed?
Yep.
Coming off a
Yeah, because
stun?
I'm just casting the spell, so yeah.
I was curious about this because of the stun, but okay.
I'll give Lomax a Fate Sphere if I'm allowed to.
Okay, yeah, you can use it
Yeah,
for
I'll-
someone else. So Lomax, before we roll the damage here, do you want to re-roll your dex save?
Yes, and thank you very much.
That brings me down to 4.
Oh, nope.
12
Thanks
still.
anyway.
A fail, and Novar, that is your first Fate Sphere. Has been used. All right, 8.
I used it for the Rock Elemental. I used one for Rock Elemental.
Oh, okay. So second.
That's my second one, so I'm at 4.
Understood. So 8d6 be Dave at this level?
Yes. Just a little gentle, crispy one.
25 fire damage coming in at Lomax, at Ari, and at Garzak. Ari used
also-
absorb elements, so takes half.
Sorry, just a clarification. I forgot I was still in wild shape form. Can't cast spells.
Okay, so full 25.
5 puts me on
Question.
0.
But that will drop me from the wild shape.
I'm down.
Me
Total is
too.
25.
Okay, Lomax is
Luckily, I
down.
rolled low, so it didn't go past my max.
And Garzak is down.
I am down, yeah.
All right,
Do
so
you have any
Garzak?
massive damage, instant death rules, or anything of the like?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, but 25.
Yeah, I'm only at -5.
Great.
Only.
But we do use
it. Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Okay, so that was
Still up.
legendary fireball. Okay, then that makes it Garzak's turn. You are currently down, so I need a death saving throw from Garzak.
Fast on the 20 for a second.
Okay, Izera.
Right.
What? Actually, I will just say one thing for flavor, which I will leave to the dungeon master to adjudicate. But as Garzak is sort of slipping between worlds, he does hear me just talking in his head and telling him things about the archivist that I think might be useful in the future. What that means and what that looks like, I will leave to you, good sir.
Understood. Izera.
Okay, I'm gonna grab another +1 magic arrow from my quiver, second one, and I'm going to put it on my bow and say, class over. Class is over, Professor. And then I would add a D4 to that. So that's 18.
And a +1
Not
for the
enough.
arrow?
Oh, +1 for the arrow, so 19, yes.
My shield is still up. That is not enough.
Arrow deflects
Forgot the
harmlessly off
shield.
the arcane shield.
All right, shoot. Okay. That's that. Then, that's all I can do.
Okay, any legendaries?
No.
Edafang.
Okay, Edafang will bonus action rage, and
Okay.
I'll take form of the beast's tail. I grow a lashing spiny tail, which deals 1d8 piercing damage on a hit, and has the reach property.
Right, bonus action, you're now raging?
Yep, I am going to. How far away from the Illithid? Is that 5?
25 feet.
To be in striking distance.
You'd have to move 20 to get in striking.
Striking with a weapon, not the tail.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll
if
do
you
that.
move 20, then you'd be within 5 feet, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, yeah. Oof. Nope. That is a miss.
Anything else for
And
you?
I am going to move 5 feet back.
5 feet back. Okay. Provoking an attack of opportunity. Do you want to use your
yes.
reaction
That's right.
to make
He's
it?
got shield up, so he's used it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Recall. You want to go straight back here or to here?
Yeah, so that I'm within 10 feet of the Illithid.
Yep. You're good there.
Okay.
So, in terms of how you all choose to spend your fate spears or whatever, you should pretty much assume from this point going forward that the next person I target, I'm going to kill. So, targeting die, please, Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
I don't have any anyway.
Here we go.
Well, some were donated to you before, so it's fine.
Yeah. Could be a donation. A 6 Novar.
Hey, Sphere. Get that off me.
All right. Your third fate sphere.
Yes.
Garzak.
Yeah,
You can still choose to
Yep.
use a fate sphere here, even though you're down.
Fate Spear.
Your second. Izera.
Using my first fate sphere.
Okay, first one used. With those menacing words, B. Dave, I believe we are going to be rolling these until they're gone. Lomax.
If not now,
bye.
Don't be coy. I'm telling you, like now is when things get unpleasant. So it's probably worth it.
Okay, Lomax, it is on you. You don't have any left.
Nope.
Is anyone else choosing to take opportunity here? No. Then the target is Lomax for this.
Edifang comes and is like attempting to attack, and the axe is bashing off of me, and arrows flying past, and elementals and everything. And I just say, shh. Lomax, I said I would show you how to walk in the light. I said I would show you the way to Pelion. Now I send you to him. Die. And I cast Power Word Kill at Lomax.
All right. Power word kill. If you have 100 hit points or lower, automatic
I don't have any.
death. Do you know of anything that can save you within the rules of Crucible of Fate, Lomax?
Your God will intervene now. Wouldn't that be dramatic?
My God won't intervene, but I will go to my God with blessing.
All right. Nothing to be used by Lomax. All the fate spheres are gone, so I leave it with you, B. Dave, to describe how Lomax dies.
I very calmly walk over towards Garzak and fish one of those good berries out of his pocket and just shove it in his mouth and lean down, and my tentacles kind of rub over his head, and I say, a deal is a deal. And then I walk over to Lomax and I look at all the rest of you and I say, well, you shouldn't be upset with me about this. I didn't get you into this predicament, and you also shouldn't be upset with Garzak. I believe his actions today may save you all in the long term, but unfortunately, waste not, want not. And I lean down, and you see my tentacles wrap around the front of Lomax's face, and you hear delicious, and you're cast out of my domain.
All right, folks. Lomax, I am sorry, but that is the end for the Crucible of Fate for Lomax. Anything that you want to say at this point?
No, it's been a blast. I'll continue watching. And yeah,
All right.
I'll be back in for season 2.
Wicked. All right. Thanks for playing, man. That was a fantastic effort by all of you guys. I will pause there. I'm going to offer now as a free action in initiative order. So, Ari, are you going back to the Fate's Hand Tavern or remaining here?
Yeah, there's Waterbound waiting for him. He's out.
Okay. Ari, pieces out. Edifang.
Yeah, I'm not waiting this time.
Learned a lesson from last time. Garzak.
So he fed me the good berry, so I got 1 HP, so I'm conscious now, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
All right. If I go back now, am I able to grab the things I dropped, or do I need to stay to do that?
You were stunned, so you would have to stay to grab your stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Izera?
I will say, as he's picking his stuff up, wiping Lomax's blood matter off of my mouth, I do just say, Garzak, you are, of course, welcome to remain to discuss whatever you like.
Okay, Garzak is remaining behind for now. Uzera?
Gonna head out.
Uzera is leaving. Lomax is down. Novar.
I instruct the Earth Elemental to attack Garzak.
Okay. In that case,
Currently has no weapons on him. It basically just listens to my instructions, so I give that instruction and then I leave.
okay. Novar leaves. What's the movement of the Earth Elemental when it's burrowing, or do you want it just to pop up on the surface?
It's 30 feet either way.
Okay. So it was here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Can't get to him this round and take an action. Unless it has range.
No. It has 10 feet to hit. It has 10 feet of range.
Oh, well, with 10 feet, you can hit. Because you take up these 4 spaces, and then it's 5, 10.
Then yes, it's going to use it.
Excuse me, Dungeon Master.
Yep.
So I mean, if we're getting pedantic here, so he tells it to attack, leaves.
Yep.
Then I have a legendary action, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, this thing's not gonna hurt. Yeah, this thing's not gonna hurt my boy.
Woo!
We can adjudicate it if you like, but I'm like, I'm not gonna let it hurt.
Yep, you still got your legendary.
Well, there's an earth elemental, right?
It is, yep.
Hold on. I'm a mind blast this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty good chance of stunning it, I think. We can go through the rigmarole if you want, but I mean, the moment I see it moving towards him, I'm like, ow.
Sure.
Like, yeah, nah.
Sure, I'll roll.
I can mind blast as a legendary action, so.
All right, well,
I think even if I got a natural 20, it couldn't save on its intelligence, correct? Mind blast is intelligence, or yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, so it couldn't save as a -3.
okay.
I will say when this happens, when you see it come towards him and I blast it, I look at Garzak and I just say, remember who your friends are then,
Okay, Mind Blast at the Earth Elemental. Rolling.
What does Mind Blast do specifically, just so I know?
It will stun it, and I roll, I don't know how deep we want to get into it. I'll do 5d8 plus 5 psychic damage and stun.
I just wanted to know if it was one of its condition immunities. Stunned, is it on there? It's exhaustion, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, and unconscious. It can't be knocked unconscious, but
yeah. So it took 20 psychic and is now stunned.
27. Oh, you rolled. Sorry, 20. Got it.
Yeah, you've got a very nice lawn ornament until the natural time wears off.
All right, so that was the Earth Elemental legendary action taken. That brings us back to the top. Ari's already gone. Edifang's gone. Garzak, you are conscious. You're grabbing your gear.
Yeah, I will grab my gear. Sheath I had a javelin out, so grab my gear, sheath my javelin, apply my shield back on, so some decent AC now. I will go. Lomax, how much do you weigh?
Lomax, let me have a look. Inventory. 92 pounds of worth of gear with my armor.
Minus his brain matter.
I'm about to say he does not look great though. I mean, just kind of right about the nasal stem, right between the eyes there, just sort of like there's just a ragged hunk.
And he's
I
like,
think he weighs I think I put he weighs about 150 pounds.
Not including the bits that were burned off.
Yeah, 150 pounds, so 242 pounds.
Okay. Wait, 242 pounds. Okay. Am I able to drag him through my portal? Like his corpse?
We've already established that only yourself can go through your portal.
All right. I'm going to loot him, and then as I'm looting him, I'm going to speak with the professor and say, tell me what I should know. What that is, I don't actually know, but...
And Dungeon Master, I leave it to you what I tell him, but it is my intent to be honest and keep the deal.
Okay.
But the idea is also like, quickly before that thing tries to attack me again.
Yeah, no problem. So I think the best way to handle this is just after the game, we can do it by email to see what the message would be. But yeah, if you want to loot on your way out, we'll just do it our standard way, which is a D4 and a perception check.
Oof. Okay. And then perception.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, one item. So you can pick whether you're going to grab something off the body, backpack, or pouches if there are any. Lomax, I would just ask you, do you have any pouches with gear in it, or is it just your backpack or on your person?
Just backpack and a very small pouch where I put where you saw me put the goodberry.
Okay.
I'll look in the backpack.
Okay.
In the backpack, I have a rope.
Rope?
Yeah, that's all that's in my backpack.
Okay.
Okay.
You get 50 foot of hempen rope.
50 foot hempen rope. Yeah, I'll take the rope.
All right, then you step through the portal?
Yep.
Made to deal with a lich, and all I got with this fucking rope.
The real treasure is the friendships you made along the way.
Yeah.
That's right.
See, the reason I didn't try to shoot you with an arrow is because I had a feeling that the lich might try to step in. So I was just like, I'll have the Pokeball summon do the thing, and I'll just nope out of here.
Friendship is way too strong of a word here.
Yeah.
Fully a warlock now.
I'm just disappointed I only got to fall over.
Yep.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Sure. That's okay. That's okay.
Ruby.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
I would, so you see me looking at this earth elemental, and I just say, can't have this thing smashing about, and I just put my hand on its head and cast Dominate Monster, which I'm probably gonna.
No chance of succeeding on the roll?
Is that wisdom?
I mean, it's minimal, you know.
Is that wisdom?
Dominate is wisdom, yeah.
This big old +0 it has.
You never know.
2. It's yours.
Yeah, it's got me an earth elemental. The way the portals work, did Lomax's portal open? Like I realize Garzak couldn't take him through his, but like I don't like. Is this like an Avengers style thing where I see a hole is in the air that was meant for Lomax, or no?
Not for Lomax, because it will only open for characters that are not dead.
So to be clear, there is no way for me, if I wanted the earth elemental to yeet his body back, like there's no way for me to send his corpse back, correct?
Correct.
Then I would say the last thing you probably see, Garzak, as you are clearing out is me having the earth elemental load Lomax up on a slab, and I start hooking up some wires and chemicals, and I just say, again, waste not, want not.
I will live in some way.
I sincerely hope that if the professor comes back not played by B-Dave, that I just screwed over another group by giving him a freaking rock elemental.
See, in that way, you've done more damage than I did.
I'm okay with that. I'm not a good guy.
All right.
I'm hoping if Dave decides to bring the professor back, then he'll call me back in to fight the remaining contestants as zombie Lomax.
Hey, that's a good idea.
I'll give you a sweet ass mask though. Trust me. Like I mean, yeah, it'll be dope. It'll be dope. It'll be great. You'll love it.
Zommax.
Great idea.
Zommax.
All right, everybody, that brings us to the end of episode 19, part 1. Lomax, so sorry, but it had to happen to someone. I am sorry it happened to you, but hey, that's the game. But yeah, B-Dave has certainly put us in a nice position where you could return to help out the professor in a future battle, which is awesome. I want to thank, well, all of you for participating, of course. Well done. Wouldn't be a show without any contestants. And of course, I want to thank our special guest, B. Dave Walters, for coming in and doing an awesome job playing one of our NPCs,
see
the
my
professor.
Face. I got a face. There you go.
Yeah, it's been great.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you all for having me. I know that
told you look just like Victor Temple.
I was just going to say, it's been a pleasure being killed by Victor Temple, because that's...
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I was kind of hoping like I'd be the one to be killed by Dave.
I need you to know, I had
just a new thing to put in the Twitter bio.
I kind of had a list going with Dave of what I'd do to who if it came to him. I was like, that person, they get a chance. No, they get power word killed. That guy gets power word killed. Everybody that got sassy, I was like, okay, great. Yeah, don't worry about it.
What,
anyway,
Roleplay matters.
What was that, B. Dave, that you showed there? A ring of some sort?
Oh, this? Oh, yeah. So this is the symbol for Clan Ventru, which this dice box is the very first piece of merchandise that was made with the new clan symbol on it. So I had the very first one. And my ring here, it's the same thing. It's got the symbol on it. So you can't usually tell, except in some of the still photos that we took, that I'm wearing it. But yep, Jason gave me a Clan Venture ring. So
that's vampire, is it?
I have the Camarilla tattoo on the back of my neck.
You know, I'll forgive you for that. But now I'm glad I power word killed you.
And if you look, I have the
Bruja
tattoo on my elbow.
You know, it's I admire your commitment. You know, yeah, good on you.
Asimite was my favorite clan.
Rightly so. Yeah, it's it's vampire is wonderful. I won't take up too much of the oxygen of our D&D strain here, but yes, it's you're all always welcome in the valley. Those of you that survive.
Great. All right. Well, to our 5 survivors, we'll see you next week for part 2 and part 3. Lomax, once again, thanks for playing. So sorry the way things worked out.
No, great.
B. Dave, yeah, man, I can't express it. I really appreciate you being here, and great job. Super entertaining.
Pleasure's all mine. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right,
awesome.
We'll see
you, Dave.
You folks next week. Take care, guys. See you soon.